The Cavs just swept a first-round playoff series, and we got to give them the attention and the respect they deserve for doing something we have never seen in the history of the NBA before. So we're going to start with that, guys. The NBA playoffs are in action. The second round starts up this weekend, and FanDuel is giving new customers an incredible way to get in on the action. Right now, when you join FanDuel and place your first $5 bet, you'll get $250 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Don't miss out. Head over to FanDuel.com/UCSS and claim your $250 in bonus bets today. So the sweep is complete. The Cavs beat the Miami Heat last night by 53 points. If you took out every 2-point field goal the Cavs made last night and just counted their threes and their free throws, they still would have beat Miami by 5 points. It was the largest point differential in a 4-game sweep in the history of the NBA, and they did it without Darius Garland in the final 2 games. G. Bush, you were so patient and quiet in the back and forth beforehand.
Yes.
And we'll do the whole Darius Garland conversation, which is stupid, another day. But the Cavs put belt to ass in the games 3 and 4 in Miami. What do you make of such a dominating performance from the Cavs to close out Miami real quick?
I took away I took away a lot more than a lot of other people did. Because, you know, there's this thing now that we do where we say nothing in the regular season matters except for the playoffs. Cavs come out here and smoke these suckers in the playoffs, and it doesn't matter because they're not very good. They're a playing team. Stop moving these goalposts right now.
I respect that.
Listen, I'm tired of that, bro. They putting 55. They doing stuff that your favorite teams didn't do. Jordan's Bulls wasn't put 59 on nobody. And look, they're not gonna get anointed as Jordan's Bulls or LeBron's Cavs or Steph's Golden State Warriors. But right now, I got to reward the mentality. They came in there. They said it don't matter. Not only did not matter, they came in there and said we're not even playing Darius Garland. They let him talk trash to Tyler Herro. Nah. You don't play any defense and you can't shoot. And then they will let the dogs go out on him and now go score 100. Now, go score on the new lockdown defender is Sam Merrill. I don't know how he became lockdown.
Right.
He must have been spending.
They put him in the start lineup. He had to step his game
They
up.
just spent them VCs on that defender badge. That cat's moving his feet now. He's physical. Listen. You watch all of those dudes, and let's talk about this. Last year we talked about how Jarrett Allen. The lights is too bright. Last year he got injured. We was talking about we was trying to get him up out the sticks. Jarrett Allen has now become Jared Jordan.
Almost had a triple-double with steals.
Come fly with me, Afro Thunder. He's in the passing lane.
Did you see that?
He's in the passing lane.
I couldn't believe he got them
He almost
steals.
played a perfect game last night. 5 from the field, 4 from the free throw line, a double-double, and you mentioned 4 steals away from a triple-double. He was spectacular last night.
When your center, when your 5-man who don't get touches comes out and sets the tone, like, listen, think about how rare this is. Miami are a very proud organization. Eric Spoelstra, you know what Pat Riley brings to the table, and they was talking a good game too. We ain't going out like that.
They did.
We're gonna ride it till the wheels fall off until you got to that game 3, and they not only put 40 on you, they try to beat you by 60. If you can't see that the Cavs is focused from this, does that mean they can come out here and do that and lay egg against Indianapolis? No. Or that's going to mean that we're going to beat Boston? No. But what we got to start doing is understanding what point in time are you in and start giving these congratulations and learning how to be winners. See, winners, it's okay to say, yeah, we smashed y'all. Let me go ahead and get my little lap off right quick, take my little time off and do my thing, and we're going to get our legs healthy and watch these other cats play. That's the best feeling in the world when you go to AAU tournaments. Yeah, we already in the championship game. We gonna see what y'all do. Mm-hmm. Sit back in the crowd. This is a great feeling. It's great to be back in that catbird seat where you know you got a damn good basketball team. And people need to stop downplaying stuff because this is what you start to build on. You don't think DeAndre Hunter got some a little bit of confidence? He's shooting the ball better. Sam Merrill say, I've heard my name in the starting lineup. Ty Jerome already thought he was him. So all these guys is getting that momentum. You saw the bigger lineups. You got to see Wade and Hunter together. I like it. We ready to get locked in, get some of that ice tubs, get you some treatment, and let's get ready for these doggone Indiana Pacers.
Whoa! First of all, pump your brakes. It's not over until it's over.
Is Dame officially what?
Yeah, he tore his Achilles.
So he did tear his
Achilles.
Achilles.
That's out of here.
First of all, you go pump
Playing
your
tonight,
brakes.
Game 5.
Pump your brakes. It ain't over. I see the Cavs come back 3-1. So just saying. No, yesterday's game. The funny part is it got boring. I got bored with it. Like they was beating them so bad that I stopped watching it after a certain point because it was done. Now, what I will say is I did appreciate the fact that they came out with this attitude, like you could tell from the beginning of the game, we ain't going 5 games. We ending this tonight. And everybody was locked into that message and everybody contributed in the way that they did. I think you're absolutely right with Jarrett Allen. I mean, when he was getting these steals, I was looking like, dude, because when he got one of them, I didn't know it was him. I thought it was somebody else. He like stole it, brought it up the court, threw a dime. I was like, who is this?
And had the nerve to jump from the dot.
So yeah, everybody was locked in, and it's so funny because we were talking about, I think Ty Jerome and DeAndre Hunter, like we want to stay coming off the bench together because it blew my mind a little bit that Ty Jerome wouldn't be in the starting lineup in Game 3 or Game 4. I'm like, Darius is out; he's the obvious choice to be the guy. To start. But when you see how well he's played off the bench and that chemistry that they got. I think the Cavs realize, like, it's something special with these two guys coming off the bench, so we're not going to touch it.
Don't mess with it,
Out to the Celtics. I don't know what we're going to do with the Celtics.
That's
Another story for another day. The most impressive thing, though, was that Tyler Herro is supposed to be the star of the Heat. This man had 4 points in the game. Like, that's insane to me. Like, the Cavaliers right now, they remind me of, you remember when Golden State was playing, I can't remember if it was 2015 or 2016, but it was a point in time where Golden State, when they got to the third quarter, they would blow everybody out the water. They'd go up by like 20 points. The Cavaliers is like that now, where it's like, you got to, when they start hitting them threes, it's so overwhelming that some teams just pack it in like we can't do nothing with it. The Heat, they did a good job in Game 2 trying to come back, but for the most part, it really ain't a fluke. Like the Cavs at some point of that game, whoever they play, whenever they play, is going to be a Cavalanche. And if you don't stop it, if you don't have nothing to come back from it, like you will get blown out the waters.
I think it's the Cavalanche.
Excuse me.
Cavalanche.
Cavalanche is
Travis pulled the mic instead of Cavalanche.
Cavalanche.
By the way, the Cavs won by 55. Mike. You guys got 53 on the ticker there. They won by 55.
Let them get their money on.
Short.
53. Is my math wrong? It very well could be
Yes.
wrong.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. It was 138.
Yeah, it is. It's 55. Good
55.
Call. Bad job.
What
Not
happened
bad
there?
look.
So, couple things. G, you make a good point about, like, don't move the goalpost now that they want, because we've been saying all season, I've been one of the biggest advocates. Don't care. Show me in the playoffs. Now, I'll tell you this. When the playoffs started, I think either we had this conversation or I'm imagining we had this conversation, but I believe we discussed briefly at one point, is anything they could do against the Heat going to increase your thoughts about how they can be and how likely they are to win? Didn't we have that conversation?
Yeah, we did it on the topic
right
before the series started.
And I think I said no, but I have changed my mind, and here's why.
Flip-flop.
Because, because first of all, I didn't like the way they played Game 2. I didn't like that they blew that big lead. I know they didn't actually blow it, but I didn't like that. And I was like, is this a sign that when they play better teams, blah, blah, blah. And Donovan wasn't shooting particularly well earlier in the series. But they lose Darius Garland. And again, people are going to make whatever arguments they want. I think you're crazy if you think they're better without Darius Garland, but whatever.
Bush.
So they lose Darius Garland. At worst, their third best player, right? And they took what they learned from Game 2. I think they were embarrassed that they blew that big lead. They're like, this team has no business competing with us. We let them get in it. No effing around here in these. And they went to Miami. And yes, Miami's not a very good team. Is there something wrong, Mike?
No, there's a water bottle on the table that shouldn't be there. I'm going to go grab it in a second.
All right.
No, not that one. It's the
the one in front.
Yeah,
so they went to Miami. And as much as I'm like, Miami's not very good, which is true, what we know about Miami is, what does everybody say? They're well coached.
Yep.
They always play hard.
Always play hard.
Even down the stretch of the season when they were losing game after game, everything was close. The Cavs went to Miami and ripped their soul out of their throat.
They did.
Stepped on it, broke it in half, and flushed it down the toilet. They destroy in the past. Sorry, Thomas, but I just want to say this one last thing. In the past, that little incident between Darius and Tyler Herro, I feel like that would have gone the wrong way for the Cavs.
Right.
Like that would have led to the Heat embarrassing them, and instead, even though Darius didn't play, the team backed up what Darius said, and they humiliated Tyler Herro, one of my least favorite NBA players. So I love that even more.
You hate Tyler Herro?
I hate him.
Why?
Hate him.
He doesn't like white basketball players.
I don't like American white
Is he a
basketball players.
white? Is it because he's a
And
white?
people can't get mad at me because I'm white.
Is it because he's a white basketball player that tries to be black?
No, I don't. No. I like some white basketball players.
He's just a little. You know how you get a guy that's good. I guess this is what they probably say about Shedeur Sanders, right? a guy that's good, but he ain't that good. And it'd be like, man, Tyler Herro, you are a great shooter, but that's where it stops.
I had some.
They moved on Jimmy Butler for him.
I think it's some scarring from when I was like in high school, and there were a couple kids I knew that were like, I'll just say they were like white basketball players, and they rubbed me the wrong way, and I've never gotten over it. So
that's
except for Chris Mullin.
I love Chris Mullin. Don't mess with Chris Mullin.
So when you see Tyler,
I don't hate white basketball players. I'm joking around, but I don't like Tyler Herro. Some guys just rub me the wrong way. He's one of them.
That makes sense.
He comes off like a punk. I don't like him. I don't like him.
He would trade Dante DiVincenzo for Tyler Herro. Those are the exact opposites.
I take Dante.
I like Dante.
Yes.
Yes.
You guys are smoking crack.
I tell you.
But I'm just saying, but he's the same.
over here.
But we like DiVincenzo, and he has some shot making ability.
Right.
He's not as good as Tyler Herro.
I will say though, one thing that
I like all the Cavs white guys.
Yeah, I like them too.
One
They got
small
good
thing
white
that
guys,
I did see in Game 3.
Yeah.
That I give Kenny a lot of credit for is remember in Game 2 they went on that long run without scoring. In Game 3, there was a point where the Heat started heating up. It was early in the game,
Very early to start the game.
and he called the
15-5
called
or
the
whatever.
timeout, and I was like, okay. And then it reset, and then the Cavs came back and started rolling. It was crazy because I was like, man, this dude did learn something in just one game.
Well, think about that. The Heat, I think, started the game 15-5.
In Game 3, yes.
Right. I think from that point until the end of last night, the Cavs outscored them by like 100.
Yeah, Ty Jerome, when that second unit came in Game 3, they immediately went on a 20-0 run.
Yeah,
and
that was it.
Never got close again.
They've just completely destroyed them. And while I'm not going to say, oh, now I think they're definitely going to be the Celtics, of course I'm not going to say that. If they play the Celtics, which I think we all anticipate, I think it's going to be a great series. But I do have more confidence today than I did after Game 2. I have more.
I have more confidence today seeing it the way that the Orlando Magic is playing the Celtics.
They beating them down, ain't they?
Because
physical.
If they could just score, Orlando in the opportune times when you need a bucket or you need a stop.
Yeah.
They just being young dudes. They ain't being able to get it. But in
they were
terms
feisty against us last year.
Yeah,
so.
but in terms of the physicality, in terms of what they've been showing on the court,
boy Paolo
like
30 a game.
Man, this dude Jaylen Brown, knee hurt.
Yeah,
he complaining, talking about, oh my goodness, this is not regular basketball. Jason Tatum's wrist is hurting. I think the Cavs is a lot more fresh. I think they defensive prowess is really looking good right now. And of course, the Celtics are the Celtics, but I got more confidence that the Cavs can do what they can do.
Mike, let me ask you a question.
Shoot.
I know neither of these series are completely set yet, but it appears it's going to be the Knicks and the Pacers moving on.
Hey.
It appears, Tyvus. It's not over yet.
It's a wrap.
I don't know that the Knicks are really any better than the Pacers or not much better than the Pacers.
I think the Pacers are better than the Knicks.
Okay, but the Knicks are more physical, aren't they? No?
I don't know.
Who you?
Detroit is giving them the business.
I think they're both relatively physical.
All right, fair enough.
They present different challenges to each different
It's a big... Would you say it's a bigger jump up in class that the Cavs are going from the Heat to the Pacers than it will be from the Pacers to the Celtics? What's a bigger jump?
The bigger jump is Heat to Indiana.
Right, that's what I thought.
Miami, and listen, no disrespect to Miami.
You're about to disrespect them.
I am.
Yeah.
They won 37 games in the regular season and traded away their best player mid-season.
Yes.
I said after games, I said before the series, They didn't have the firepower to keep up with Cleveland. In games 1 and 2 in Cleveland, they made a ton of tough twos. Davion Mitchell made a ton of tough shots, which, by the way, he ain't a shot maker. That dude's in there for his defense. He made a ton of tough shots.
He made
Hayward
some money.
Highsmith in game 2. G came in the next day and said, who the hell's this guy?
Yeah.
He made some tough shots.
That was me.
In games 3 and 4
Yeah, that was you.
combined, or it was Tyvus who said that. In games 3 and 4 combined, Cleveland held Miami to 85 points a game, 87 and 83.
Yeah.
They stopped making some of these incredibly tough twos late in the shot clock that bailed them out and made games 1 and 2 actually feel closer than they really ever should have.
Yes.
In games 3 and 4, when they stopped making those shots,
That's right. That was
it's demoralizing. You don't play defense nearly as well when you're not making shots, or you don't put the same effort in when you're not making shots. And Cleveland couldn't miss, and that's why we get 2 literally historic level blowouts. 55 points, the biggest series clinching win in the history of the league, guys.
Right.
And it was never close. And even though game 2 looked close for a split second bowl, Cleveland was never worried.
I never felt like they were going to lose.
Never.
No,
No.
By the way, can we, this offseason, I know this is not realistic, but I'd like to get rid of Isaac Okoro and bring on Davion Mitchell. Can we do that?
Davion Mitchell made himself some
I
money.
might say he about to get paid.
Is he a free agent?
Davion Mitchell, let me look it up.
Wouldn't he be a great replacement? Like, have him instead of Okoro?
He was. I take it.
That guy's a pain in the ass. You need that.
He was hitting some. He hit some tough threes.
He's a restricted free agent this summer. So
I know the Cavs can't sign anybody, right?
I would not anticipate him coming.
But are you willing to give up Ty Jerome?
No.
All right.
Yeah, so that you'd have to.
I'm being crazy. I'd love him to be on the Cavs instead of.
So to
Isaac
recap,
Okoro.
Cavs with a dominating performance. They have swept the Miami Heat. Belt to ass is the perfect way to describe what we witnessed over the last 2 games.
Yep.
And now they wait. In game 1 in their next series, whether it's Indiana, which is looking likely, or Milwaukee, Tyvus, in case Giannis pulls something out of his back pocket, will start, according to NBA release, either Saturday or Sunday, or Monday, Tuesday, depending on what they decide. So no clarity.
By the
on when
way,
the next series will start.
I think something they should do in the NBA, which they do in the NFL, I don't know why they haven't done this.
The reseeding?
They should. In this case, it's probably not going to matter. But, like, for example, if Detroit beat the Knicks, the Cavs should play Detroit in the next round because Detroit's the lowest seeded team. They do that in the NFL. I don't know why they don't do that in the NBA, Mike.
In the West, it'd be interesting because right now, 7-seeded Golden State has a 3-1 lead over 2nd-seed Houston.
Houston?
6-seeded Minnesota has a 3-1 lead over.
Isn't that wild?
The Lakers.
The Lakers are about to get eliminated. Anybody think they can come back and win 3 in a row?
I mean, LeBron's done it before, but I mean, Anthony Edwards, boy.
Problem with the Lakers is
Woo! That boy showing he ain't messing around.
By the way, I picked the Warriors, Mike. Didn't you pick the Rockets?
I did pick the Rockets.
Look at that. If
Anthony.
Tyvus is Mr. Baseball, I'm now Mr. NBA.